Ben, Morgan Stanley Investment Management is the asset management arm of Morgan Stanley. I'm not sure if you've noticed, but there's a lot of other asset managers here in New York on Wall Street. So what do you do differently at MSIM?
So Morgan Stanley Investment Management definitely benefits from being part of the Morgan Stanley ecosystem. We have a very large wealth management business here in the US that we partner with to innovate and to integrate with to deliver those solutions to individuals. And then we also benefit from being part of the global footprint that is Morgan Stanley. The brand and all the client relationships we have around the world help us deliver for our clients around the world.
And how are you delivering customization? Because that's been a big, if you will, buzzword over the course of 2025, that asset managers, advisors have really been able to tailor solutions to individual clients.
Yeah, look, I think we, as part of an acquisition we made of Eaton Vance, we bought a company called Parametric, which delivers customization at scale, primarily around tax. So the ability at the individual client level to deliver tax alpha based on an individual's tax state and tax situation in the portfolios that they hold. And the power of that technology is that we can do it over $650 billion in assets and over 100,000 accounts at the individual account level.
And the other big trend we saw in 2025 has been private market assets, alternatives. Do you see this extending into 2026?
Yeah, for sure. Look, we have a long history at MSIM of alternatives. We've been in the business for 40 years, primarily on the institutional side. But now, as you've seen, more and more individual clients are realizing the power of investing in private markets. And we're creating democratized structures to help individuals get access to those asset classes. And then there's a big part about education. So teaching advisors and teaching clients how to invest responsibly in alternatives.
And you're not worried that it's become overly crowded in the private market asset arena? A lot of people are heading into alternatives, and it's less liquid, hard to get out in some cases. Yep. What are you telling clients?
I mean, that's an important part of the education, is teaching clients about the illiquidity and the illiquidity premium. You can drive higher returns, but you are restricted in terms of your ability to access that. Alternatives have been a part of portfolio construction for institutions for decades. And so this is really just about providing access to individuals as they think about how to build their portfolios. And so much wealth is being created in the private markets. Democratizing that ability to access that return is important.
And what about in the traditional public equity markets? We've seen a lot of concentration into things like the Magnificent Seven. What are your thoughts heading into 2026 about the fact that maybe a third of the S&P is now in 7 or 8 stocks?
Yeah, look, the benchmarks have been tough to beat recently, given what's happened with the Mag 7. So we believe in the equity space of having active managers that are truly active. So if you want exposure to the Mag 7, you can get that by buying an ETF or investing in one of our direct indexes. But what we really want is portfolio managers who are doing deep research on companies and finding return away from the benchmark. And we have 10 active equity teams and 6 active fixed income teams that we believe deliver that kind of alpha.
And then finally, a lot of people are chasing that Mag 7 because they're exposed to AI, and that's going to be the new trend that's going to drive us over the next decade, perhaps. So what are you doing in terms of AI, and are they going to replace some of those team members you just discussed that are picking the stocks?
Yeah, look, clearly a lot of people focus on the back office, and I think there's a lot of opportunity there for MSIM as a business to use AI to be more efficient. But we're also using it to communicate more effectively with clients. So getting client insights into the hands of our clients in a much more timely fashion. And many of our investment teams now are incorporating AI into their investment process. So having AI challenge investment ideas, look for optimization opportunities within portfolios. So really almost making AI a virtual team member with the investment teams to try to deliver better results for clients.
All right. Well, thanks for coming on and talking about it.
Thanks so much for having me.